We constantly hear about growing the game, growing American soccer, especially from our current U.S. soccer governing federation. But where is the real proof of that? We tend to see growing the game sort of used as an apology or an excuse, and kind of in line with the myth of soccer not being a very big sport in America, a baby sport that needs time, and every single little thing. MLS needs all these accommodations, this Division One sanction, exclusive control. We need to exclude most of the USA soccer ecosystem in order for soccer to survive here in America. So, on the flip side, when you really look at what's happening in the USA soccer ecosystem and what has happened over the last few years, last couple of decades, you see that there are people who are ready to really maximize USA Soccer's potential, but they are not being allowed to because of bad closed system US Soccer Federation policy. So, for example, you see the NPSL, you got dozens and dozens of clubs around the country, sort of right below that professional cut line, so sort of semi-pro talent, but the players aren't getting paid so they can retain their NCAA collegiate eligibility. And this week, a big announcement was made, came from the New York Cosmos organization and their owner chairman Rocco Commisso, that he was willing to invest $500 million into U.S. soccer, into funding part of NASL and adding to the growth, the expanding footprint of American soccer. But he's not even able to get a meeting with the president, the U.S. soccer president, Carlos Cordero, right now. And it seems like U.S. soccer is going out of its way to stifle big offers of investment like this. We saw Ricardo Silva with Miami FC a few months back offer the huge $400 billion sum to MLS for the 10 years worth of media rights and the condition to implement promotional relegation. That was rejected, and now you have all these NPSL owners coming out in wake of this New York Cosmos Rocco Commisso announcement saying that yes, we need to allow this type of investment, or we need to open the USA soccer system so that people have incentive to build and to pour their money into things like this. We see story after story of these Americans investing in shares of authentic soccer clubs overseas. For example, Liverpool FC, who's in the Champions League final in Europe here in 2018, they have a American investment from the Fenway Sports Group, who are part of the ownership of the Red Sox in Major League Baseball. So Americans are willing to grow the game. The problem is they aren't being allowed to, or at least in an efficient way that would justify normal, straight-thinking businessman investment. Apparently these people are just supposed to pour money into something with no chance of return on investment. That's absurd. And then we want to blame them for not doing it? That's just laughable. We have to set the proper foundation, set the proper framework in the market for investors. The cart does not come before the horse. You have to open the system before people will jump into the competition, because otherwise it is a very, very low percent, almost a lost cause. There's a very low percent chance of some sort of profit, or maybe if you're absorbed into MLS, or you can turn a small profit in the NPSL amateur ranks. But here we are saying, oh, keep building and building and building, all you folks, all you clubs, all you people in lower division captivity, until we get to some vague ready point to where we're ready to finally give you a normal and fair economic opportunity, which should be a human right in the U.S. soccer industry. But people must start at square one with that fair opportunity, and then they will create great things. And that's really fundamentally what we are missing in American soccer. And you see U.S. Soccer, our governing federation, running from people who want to pour themselves into the game of soccer because they are acting as a proxy for the interests of one company, MLS. Again, they are MLS and Soccer United marketing with the costume of a U.S. Soccer governing federation draped over them. It is not a real governing soccer federation that is looking out for the interests of all people in the USA Soccer ecosystem. They are responsible to look out for all constituents, not just a select group of shareholders, owners. So this current federation is just plain corrupt. So we've got a decision on our hands. Keep holding our U.S. Soccer Governing Federation accountable. If they won't shape up and do the right thing and start to lead in a way that benefits all, then we will replace it with a new USA Soccer Governing Federation that will operate in the interests of all under FIFA's mandate of merit-based promotion and relegation competition. And another thing with our U.S. Open Cup, it's a tournament with great history. It's over a century old here, and U.S. Soccer barely lifts a finger to promote it and to cover it. Up until about 2 years ago, it didn't even have a Twitter account or social media presence. There was literally an organization, an independent organization, unpaid organization operating outside of U.S. Soccer that was the main media outlet for the Cup. It didn't have centralized coverage on the U.S. Soccer Federation Facebook or social Twitter accounts. There was no streaming, no coverage on the site. Now they're doing some now, which is thanks to public pressure from people pushing for an open system. So good work all for forcing that, but they are just doing the bare minimum of what they should do. If they truly cared about growing the game, the U.S. Open Cup should be the focal point. The history of it, how people love the David versus Goliath stories of lower division clubs challenging the big boys in the first division, MLS, or other professional teams versus amateur teams. That's the most marketable thing they have going on right now. Everyone's ignoring MLS. It's low quality franchise scrimmages. It's not real club soccer. There are no relegation consequences, and the quality is low. But U.S. Soccer, in all of its words, it is saying, yeah, we're trying to grow the game, we're doing our best, but in almost all of their actions, they are doing just the opposite, or doing nothing, which is the same as doing the opposite of growing the game. So, again, judge actions, not words. Judge track records. Judge our last 5 to 10 years, last 20 years in American soccer. We are not moving forward, or even if we are moving a little bit forward, the rest of the world is moving forward at a much faster pace. So it's time for us, the people of American soccer, to hold our U.S. Soccer Governing Federation accountable and to call for change. Open the market, unleash the game, and let entrepreneurs, America's people, the millions of soccer people in our country, get to work and create something special here, which we can do with open market conditions you see in the rest of the free world. So if you like this video, make sure to share it out across social media and also subscribe right here to my channel, and I'll talk to you soon.